All right, now in this video I have a question on our functions. I'm a parabola 2 on the same system of axis, one concave up, graph f. Now graph f, function f is concave up, and then g, which is concave down. So this question 6 ivela kule question paper ka November 2015. It's question 6. In the description box you'll also find amanye links for questions ongaphendulile for the question paper le. Now lana ku question 6 but the sketch below represents the graphs of two parabolas f no g. Yes, and then f f basiphe equation yakhona is 1/2x² minus 8. And then the turning point of G is given as C, and the y-intercept of G is given as A. B and D are the x-intercepts of F and G respectively. Bese ku 6.1 show that G of x is equal to minus x² plus 4x plus 5. 6.1 in other words, but calculate the equation for graph G. Right, so bakuphe yona like now, but in your answer show that this graph G has this equation. So lana we need to find the equation of G, which must be the same as this one. So 6.1 basiphe turning point, babuya basipha nani ne y-intercept. The y-intercept swathola ku the turning point as well as the y-intercept swathola kubani ku graph G. So these are the only points, or this is the only material abasiphe yona ezosinceda ukuthi calculate equation for function G. So if the case is, especially for a parabola, if the case is bakupha a turning point and any other point on the graph, for instance la basiphe y-intercept, but the y-intercept can be any other point. It doesn't have to always be y-intercept, right? So if that's the case, we use this equation, y equal to a in bracket x minus p squared plus q, right? So inside this equation to find equation for the parabola. If bakuphi turning point, this is the equation or the formula for finding equation of a parabola. If the case is, but okay, now my x-intercepts, right? Now my x-intercepts. If that's the case, this is the formula we inside, or an equation also is for calculating equation for graph yakho. X1 is the x-intercept or 1, and then x2 is the second x-intercept. Just you substitute and then you calculate the value for a, then uqedile ke. So in our case, since basiphi turning point ke, the turning point will assist us in solving and like the turning point yenza life ibe lula, especially uma sofuna the equation for the parabola. So for this equation, I need the value for P, I need the value for Q, I need the value for A. Once ngathola lawo ma value lawo ngitholile equation yami for a parabola. Now since bangiphi turning point, it means that already saying no P no bani no Q, then I need to calculate to A using the y-intercept, which is something esoyenza in this equation in this 6.1. So y equal to A in bracket x minus 2. The minus 2 is the x coordinate for point C. Simfaka la ku P. And then the y coordinate for point C sifaka uphi Q. And then so calculate how A using, so calculate value ka A using y-intercept yethu ke. Now siyabuya ke, so substitute the y-intercept in the place of y nobani no x. So where there's y ngiyofaka u5, where there's x ngiyofaka ubani u0. So therefore everything is filled up. Now sesiyocalculate uvalue A. Uvalue A ke manje 0 minus 2, so solve for this bracket obviously. 0 minus 2 is negative 2. Negative 2 squared is what? Is 4. So this equation becomes 5 equal to A4, the 4 siyithola from this bracket plus 9, and then siyabuya ke manje we multiply lo A nalo 4, and then siba no 4A plus 9 equal to 5, and then transpose lo 4A and nalo 5, then I end up with something like this, and then the answer yamu A uzoba equal to -1, since 9 minus 5 is 4, and negative divide the 4 by a -4, I get -1, since I have to divide both sides by -4. Voila, sengino A ke manje nginobani, ngino P, nginobani, ngino Q as well. So therefore equation yami ke nayi y is equal to, where there's A ngiyofaka ubani -1, and then x minus P already senginayo ubani 2, this is squared plus bani plus 9, but the equation must be written on or in standard form. So naisona, it's sort of like the completed square, the completed square version of this quadratic. So lana komele solve for this bracket, and then siya simplify. So give out -1, give out x squared. So I'm a bracket I2. Now so I multiply our brackets by 2 using a FOIL method. You'll get to x squared minus 4x plus 4 plus 9, y equal to minus x squared plus 4x minus 4 plus 9, y is equal to minus x squared plus 4x plus 5. This is our final answer, which is the same as this one basically. So yeah, 6.1 simrepa kanjalo, and then siya 6.2, calculate the average gradient of G between A and C. A and bani C is for the average gradient between A and C. So this one is straightforward. So inside gradient formula. So 6.2. Alright, 6.2. So the average gradient is over equal to y C minus y A divided by xc minus xa. So this thing we calculate like a normal gradient. I know it's a curve, it's a curve, but since it's a curve, average gradient. On a straight line, it's just a gradient. So yc is 9 minus ya 5 divided by xc 2, xa 0. So 9 minus 5 is 4 divided by 2. Answer is equal to 2. So this is our answer. 6.3. Calculate the length BD. Okay. So lana sizokwenzani ke? So kwenzani? Okay, sifuna uBD, length BD. Check ke manje. The B is the y, the x-intercept for bani, for f, which is the distance from 0 to bani to this point. So once singathola coordinate, x coordinate ka B, basically sithola the length from 0 to this point ka bani, ka B, and then by finding x coordinate ka D, which is the x coordinate, it's one of the x-intercept of graph G, sithola the length from 0 to bani to D. So therefore ngifuna ama x-intercept for B, so ngifuna ama x-intercept for graph F, and then the x-intercept for graph bani G, but these ones angeke ngiwasebenzise lawo. Ngizosebenzisa le ka D neyaka bani neyaka B to calculate the length ka bani ka BD. So into soyenza ke leyo manje la. So basically sofuna ama x-intercept for both graphs. How about starting at this one ka G? So 6.3 Stala ngo g, so g of x is equal to minus x squared plus 4x plus 5. Nangabe ngikulahlile while explaining le idea enginayo la, ngizothaya everything up nangenza ama calculations, or everything will come together nangabe sengenza ama calculations. Since ngifuna ama x intercepts la, I let y to be equal to 0, x squared plus 4x plus 5, and then 0. Okay, ungasebenzisa i-quadratic formula, but mina ngizosebenzisa i-factoring method la. So ngidivide both sides by minus 1, minus 1, minus 1, minus 1. So lana it's 0 x squared minus 4x minus 5. Why divide on negative 1 so that to x squared will be positive, or you can just transpose everything to the left hand side. So 0 is equal to x minus 5 x plus 1. So x is equal to 5, or x is equal to minus 1. So therefore Tina so 7 so this x equal to 5. Since being told my x intercepts for bani for g, and g is this concave down function, so therefore the distance from 0 to d is in fact bani 5. Bese ngiyabuya ngenza the same thing for f, ngithola ama x intercepts wakhona. So I let y to be equal to 0, ngiba no 1 over 2 x squared minus 8, and then lana I just find the LCM, which is 2 multiply everything, ngiba no 0, ngiba no x squared, ngiba no minus 16. So x squared is equal to 16, and then I square both sides, or take the square root of both sides of the equation, like about plus minus, x is equal to plus minus bani 4. So therefore this b is negative, so answer yami la about x equal to negative bani 4. Since ngifuna i-length, and the length is always calculated as a positive value, the BD uzoba equal to 4, which is the distance from 0 or the origin to B is 4 units, and then from 0 or the origin to D is this one above, is calculated, it's 5. So it's 4 plus 5. BD is going to be equal to 4 plus 5, and then this is equal to 9 units. So this is the length for BD. 6.4, use the graphs to solve for x if f of x is greater or equal to 0. So now f of x, this concave up function is greater than 0. Okay, into engizoyenza manje ngizo-erase lana so that we can answer 6.4. Okay, now 6.4, siya ku 6.4.1. we want to solve for x, or find ama values of x where f of x is greater than 0. Use the graphs. So this one is ngayi calculator algebraically, of course. Back f of x, la kuno f of x khona ngifake u1 over 2x squared minus 8 greater or equal to 0. Then ngisebenzisa algebra, the graphical method or the number line method to solve this quadratic inequality. But in our case, we don't solve it algebraically. We use the graph to find our solutions or our values ka x. So lana ke bheka ke manje, I'm looking for the part of the graph which is greater than bani than 0, greater or equal to 0. So bheka, basically this statement city, I'm looking for the part of the graph where the values of y are greater or equal to bani to 0, and sifuna ukwazi ukuthi imaphi lawo ma x values ayenza the f of x ukuthi ibe greater than bani than 0. So bheka this calculateile nala sa calculator sathola ukuthi xy is equal to bani -4, sathola ukuthi xy is equal to bani +4. Check out any x value that is less than 4 inginikeza a negative y value. This x value which is less than 4 inginikeza a negative y value, and mina ngifuna ama y value anjani a positive. So asibone ukuthi if ever ngiya to the right where x is greater than 4, igraph yami banjani, x greater than 4, boom, ngithola a y value that is positive. This x inginikeza a y value that is positive. So therefore labo x abangapha which are x greater than 4, they anginikeza ini f of x or greater or equal to bani 0, or a y value that is greater or equal to 0. So nanya to the right the x value sayenza the function of f to be greater or equal to 0. Same langapha any x value that is greater than or -4, or ama x values are to the right of -4, yabona anginikeza a negative y value, negative y value, negative y value, and mina ngifuna a greater y value. So if I go to the left hand side of ulokanje of -4 ngithola a positive y value, going to the left positive y value, going to the left positive y value. So whenever x are less than or equal to -4, so nalana it's greater or equal to 4, ngithola a positive y value. Nanya to the right of 4 I get a positive y value greater or equal to 0. Going to the left of -4 I get a y value that is greater or equal to 0. So isolution yethu la kuzoba x less than or equal to -4 or x greater or equal to bani 4. So therefore now my solutions were to for 6.4.1 siya ku 6.4.2. the last question for this question 6. F and G are both strictly increasing. Alright ke graph yami messy manje. How about ngenze so? How about I do this ke? Okay, I think erase lana. Let me erase this. Okay, ngifuna lana ku 6.4.2 use the graphs to solve for x if f and g are both strictly increasing. So ufuna parts of the graphs of g no f where they are both where they are both increasing at the same time. They are both increasing at the same time. So bheka ke manje la lana usuka from your left to the right in order ukuthi uthole where your graph is increasing or decreasing. Now uthatha ukubheka u-f nangisuka la wenzani is going down, so it means uyenzani uya decrease again up until afike kule turning point. From this turning point lena u-f starts doing what? Starts increasing, right? And then asibone u-g nangisuka la, yes, nangisuka la wenzani uya increase nakafika lapho wenzani uya decrease again. So bheka ke sifuna ukuthola ama x values azowenza u-f no g ukuthi bayenzeni ba increase at the same time. Yiwaphi lawo ma x values lawo ke? That's the question la. Yimaphi lawo ma x values lawo? Bheka ke manje. Lana u-g uya increase nalana ubani u-f wenzani uya increase. So bheka ke la ibaphi labo x values abayenza ukuthi lama graph increase at the same time. So okay, just to clarify something la, graph ya increase if we move from left to right and then graph yakhe yenzani, it's going up. So for instance f nangisuka la ngiyale wenzani, is going down, so it means we are decrease. Check out g ngisuka from la going to the right wenzani, is going, the function g is going up, so it means yenzani, ya increase. So bheka ke mina I spotted ukuthi okay f moving from left to right to start increasing from la, the turning point, to this point, up until this point, and like we increase to infinity from the turning point going to the right. But to g we increase from this point to that point, right? But mina ngifuna where f no g they are both increasing. So from la to la, f we are increase, sorry, g we are increase. From la to la, f is also increasing. So between these points and this point, both graphs are increasing, where x are equal to 0 all the way up to where x are equal to 2, right? This is the x coordinate for the turning point C. So therefore it means that graphs wama increase away 2 at the same time whenever x are between 0 and 2. So this is our final answer for 6.4.2. yeah, okay, what a question. But anyway, my video yethu iphelela lana. Thanks for watching, thanks for tuning in. Nangabe uyi-enjoyile this video, please leave a like. Nangabe une question asikhulume in the comment section. Nangabe unomngane omaziyo maybe beka-struggle nale question le, ungakhohlwa ukumsendela, just send it to your friend as well. Nangabe uthole some value out of this video. If ever you like what you see in this channel, please consider subscribing. Masibonane on the next video. Bye bye.